Okay, so we are on to Japan 11 here. One thing I did not show back on US 10, they bought 3 fighters, so that's our number of this round is 3 that we're trying to counter build. So I am going to build 3 Navy and Air Force, and we're going to continue to press. And I really tentatively like what we're going to do. Definitely on the positive side over here is this Egypt-Africa situation. So he just put the 1 in there. I can move 6 infantry, and hopefully we kill it relatively easy without losing too much. But all he has is 3 Americans that can attack. These fighters can't reach. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He had to move 8 of his UK fighters over here. So now his UK counter punch is infantry, tank, 5 fighters, and a bomber. So that's what, 8 units. We'll have hopefully like 5 Japan guys sitting there, and we've got tanks and Germans that we can do to reinforce the stack right afterwards. And so we should be able to stack and hold with Japan, Egypt there. Meanwhile, we're going to take the Soviet Far East, and we're going to take a shot at, what's this, Evenkai? Yeah, Evenkai. And so we're going to increase Japan's income by 3 at least, and maybe even 4. So the interesting thing there, as we go to the war report, Germany's income's 46. We're going to add 3 to 4. Japan's going to be at 45 or 46 income after this turn. America, US at 40. So we're kind of turning. I'm not opposed to the fact that Japan is the one grabbing up the unit, grabbing up the territory and getting the money. We're turning this into essentially a 2 oceans battle where we're making progress on this front, and you're going to see I'm just going to straight up challenge him on this front, and we're going to see how this goes. I hope I didn't miss any counts, but basically I'm going to C-Zone 57 and taking the island. Taking the island means these bombers, 1, 2, 3, 4 C-Zone, 5, 6 landing, as well as 1, 2, 3 into 57 and 4, 5, 6 back if he takes the battle, which is going to be a 50-50 negative 16 IPC or something like that for him. That's with him sending 6 fighters, bomber, this sub, and everything in here into it. So he's going to have to go all in, and anything that lives there is going to be in reach of anything I build in 60 plus my 5 bombers. So we're going to build a carrier, land this fighter on it, land another fighter on it that we're going to build, and a destroyer. So we're going to have a destroyer carrier sitting here that can hit 57, as well as those fighters from the carrier that could hit 56 the following turn with the 5 bombers. So we're taking it, and we're going to take the offensive to him. I think in this position, his best battle is going to take the battle and hope for good dice. But even if he does get good dice, I'm already a carrier group destroyer plus a destroyer sub that's going to clear out this sub. On my way building with higher income. He's going to be wasted down to hardly anything, hopefully. And so we should be able to just continue the battle. But it means he commits these fighters to the Pacific rather than flying them around to Moscow like we were talking about. So that's what we're going to do. So we are actually going to build 4 infantry, 3 for India, 1 for Japan. We're going to shuck some units over with my other transport back this way because we can. And he can be naked as long as we win the battle against this sub, obviously. We'll also have this destroyer and hopefully sub sitting here, so he can't just dump his transports over into 44 to sacrifice them, or we'll have a shot at them too, as well as the bombers, of course, still can reach there. So I feel pretty good about challenging him, because he's either going to get very defensive or take the attack. And he's not going to be making progress, and then I'll be able to pull in another carrier group next turn. So that's the plan. I hope this is working well. Hope this recording's working well. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll come back, land here, and he's still 1, 2, he's still 1, 2, 3 to 57, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 56. I'm only going to send one because I do want them out here in the front for season 44 pressure, which I don't have up there. So we're just going to take the 1 infantry, 1 bomber versus them. We'll send our fighter here to come and then land back in C zone 60. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can't reach it. These other 4 bombers can go 1, 2, 3. So we'll just make sure that we take that. All right. We're just not even going to play with the dice gods. I guess I could use my destroyer to take out that sub. I wonder if that probably improves my odds slightly, or maybe no different really at all. I'll double check that here real quick. Yeah, it doesn't make a significant change on the numbers at all, so I'm not going to bother with it actually. Got those guys. Do I take 1 or do I take 2? If I take 2, he's going to be able to airstrike him, right? So like he'll be able to just go and kill it. 2 increases the risk that we kill one of his units, but it also just wastes one of my infantry, right? I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to take both of them, even though he can strike them. It'll cost him a little bit more to strike them at least. So yeah, so we are taking the fight to him now as Japan and going to become the aggressor. So this extra money is a good thing. I think that's all the attacks. This is the icing on the cake one. Let's see if we get icing or not. Ah, no icing. But we got the kill, which was the important part, so he can't walk in to Yakut, or whatever that is. Didn't even need all our air. Overkill. Ooh, he did get a hit, though. Nice. Nice when the sub surprise attack works like it's supposed to. Good. One shot kill. That's what we wanted. No hitbacks. Alright. am going to have fighters last because it is such a decisive, tight battle, and I took the island so the fighters can land if he does a strike and, you know, chooses to retreat. I'll still keep my fighters. So I didn't really think about too heavily what the benefits of him possibly doing a strike and retreat are. There may be some aspects that's going to be a good thing for him. So double check no one can hit here. Bomber goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, bomber can't hit there. Dang it. All right, let's keep one infantry back. We're going to put one forward. The whole reason there is so that if he does try to do that with the bomber and it lands there, he's also going to pull a tank out to attack there. So, in hindsight, I do wish I had taken out the sub, because when I was thinking about the hit and retreat, he could hit and then retreat to 64, and that lets these guys jump up there after getting a hit, versus if the sub was dead, he could only go 65 and hit and retreat, or 53 and hit and retreat. So it gives him advantage, because that puts him up here in that northern track again, and if he's in 64, he's immediately threatening both these C zones again. So maybe that was a mistake. Maybe not. We'll see. At least we'll have this destroyer sub coming up as well. All right. So 15, 23, 27, 29. All right. Maybe rather than building that one extra infantry up there, maybe a tank in India might have been a smarter choice, but oh well. So this is what the Africa front is looking like. That's a 7 in there. So we got our destroyer sub, we got this bomber here, we got our backup mini fleet starting, and we're just going toe to toe with him and challenging him. We'll see what he says.